The platypus is a mammal. It lays eggs. It has a bill. It hunts by electrical signal. It carries venom in a spur on its hind leg. Every one of those traits is, by mammalian standards, a puzzle. The species is Ornithorhynchus anatinus. George Shaw, a British naturalist at the British Museum, described the specimen in 1799. The first preserved platypus to reach London was so strange that Shaw reportedly took a pair of scissors to it. Looking for the stitches of what he suspected was a taxidermy hoax. The species is found in freshwater streams and rivers across eastern Australia, from tropical Queensland in the north to cold, high-altitude Tasmania in the south. Adults are between 37 and 63 centimeters long, roughly 15 to 25 inches, and between 600 grams and 3 kilograms in weight, with males larger than females. In the wild, they live up to about 20 years. The platypus is a monotreme. Monotremes are the only mammals that lay eggs. 5 living species exist: this one, the short-beaked echidna, and 3 species of long-beaked echidna. The International Union for Conservation of Nature lists the platypus as near threatened. Populations are declining across most of its range, under pressure from drought, dam construction, and habitat loss along the river systems they depend on. Reproduction is where the platypus most clearly departs from the mammalian default. Females dig a nesting burrow into the bank of a stream, seal themselves in, and lay 1 to 3 leathery-shelled eggs, most often 2. They curl around the eggs for about 10 days. After hatching, the young feed on milk for 3 to 4 months. The platypus has no nipples. Milk emerges from specialized patches of skin on the mother's abdomen, and the young lick it from the fur. Every step of this sequence, the eggs, the sealed burrow, the milk from skin, is unique among living mammals and shared only with the 4 species of echidna. The second departure is sensory. When the platypus dives, it closes its eyes, ears, and nostrils. It hunts entirely by bill. The bill is covered in almost 40,000 electroreceptors, arranged in rows from front to back, along with mechanical pressure receptors that respond to water movement. Together, they detect the small electrical fields given off by the muscles of shrimp, worms, and insect larvae on the streambed. The capability was first demonstrated in 1986 in a Nature paper by Henning Scheik and colleagues at the German Primate Center and the Australian National University. No other mammal uses electroreception as a primary hunting sense. The third departure is venom. Adult male platypuses carry a sharp spur about a centimeter long on each hind ankle. An alveolar gland in the thigh connects to that spur through a duct, producing venom each spring during the breeding season. The function appears to be male-on-male combat over mates, not predator defense, though the system works on predators too. Only a handful of mammals worldwide are venomous, and the platypus is the single one that produces its venom in a dedicated anatomical structure, evolved for the purpose. The venom is not fatal to humans. Medical accounts describe it as one of the most severely painful injuries a native Australian animal can inflict. The pain can last for weeks, and morphine has limited effect. The fourth departure is genetic. In 2004, Frank Grutzner and his team at the University of Adelaide published a Nature cover article on the platypus sex chromosomes. There are 10 of them, 5X and 5Y during sperm formation. They segregate in a long meiotic chain. Some of those chromosomes share genes with the bird Z chromosome, as well as with the mammalian X. That points to a common ancestor older than the split between birds and mammals. 4 years later, in 2008, an international consortium led by Wesley Warren published the draft Platypus genome in Nature. The paper describes, in the author's own words, a fascinating combination of reptilian and mammalian characters. The lineage that leads to the living platypus diverged from all other mammals around 170 million years ago, well before the split between placentals and marsupials. Frank Grutzner's paper was not the first to suggest that the platypus occupied a deep branch of the mammalian tree. Fossil monotremes from Australia, such as Taenolaphos from the early Cretaceous, had already put the divergence at least 125 million years ago. What Grützner's 2004 paper did was rewrite the textbook account of how mammalian sex chromosomes evolved. By showing that the platypus's chromosome system shares genes with bird sex chromosomes, before the mammalian XY system had finished forming. The platypus is not a reptile, and it is not a transitional form. It is a modern, successful, fully adapted mammal whose lineage kept features that the rest of us lost. Everything that makes the platypus seem strange, the eggs, the bill, the spur, the 10 chromosomes, is older than the branch of mammals that led to us. Under that light, the platypus is not the odd one. We are. The platypus has simply been around longer, without needing to change.